Okay, now what are we going to do going forward? I've got 5 things I want to suggest. First of all, I think it's important that we embrace the fact that we're now part of the Michigan Economic Development Corporation, especially at a time when the economy is front and center in everyone's mind. What better agency to be affiliated with right now than the agency that has as its full-time occupation the revitalization of the state of Michigan? What better agency to be affiliated with right now that chooses as its spokesperson a performing artist who happened to also be the founder of a nonprofit theater in Chelsea, and that's Jeff Daniels. And what better agency to be affiliated with right now than one that 3 years ago enabled us to bring the Royal Shakespeare Company in a U.S. exclusive to our state of Michigan, and 39 states were represented and 4 countries in the audience that came, bringing lots of money to the state of Michigan. We called it the Bard and the Big House. It was Shakespeare and football. But on top of their sponsorship, the MEDC also brought in 10 representatives from companies around the country to look at the quality of life we have here in Southeast Michigan. And in the end, 2 companies chose to locate here. That led then head of the MEDC, Jim Ippolito, to say, that's the best return on investment we've seen from all of our grants. Well, let's keep reminding the MEDC that a strong arts and culture sector is critical to attracting the talent that will move this state forward, and that we're worthy of its strong advocacy and investment. So I think it's not a bad thing that right now we happen to be with the MEDC, but it also calls upon all of us to get engaged in the economic development activities in our own communities and show them how valuable we can be as we help revitalize this state. Second, as we promote arts and culture as an economic driver, let's also become champion storytellers as we lift up the intrinsic value of arts and culture, its ability to transform lives. I'm not going to cite the facts and figures here that provide evidence of how kids exposed to arts do better than those who aren't. You actually can find those right now on the ArtServe, online on ArtServe in their toolkit. That information is all there. And imagine what we're going to do now, Neville, once we set up the CDP here, we're going to have even more evidence. But I urge you now to go back to your organizations and talk to your visitors, talk to your audience members, talk to your students, and find out what their stories are. If you need any more stories, you can ask Rick here from Mosaic. You've seen how his kids' lives have been transformed. Or Aaron Dworkin, who's had such impact on his kids that 4 orchestras in London have now invited him to start the Sphinx program in London. Or ask our fellow up at Interlochen, Jeff Kimpton, about that more than 80-year history at Interlochen and how they've transformed lives all over the place. So we have not only the stories about the intrinsic values, but we'll soon have now from our friends in Philadelphia even more evidence that we can have in facts and figures. Third, we must work together. We must collaborate. While Detroit Symphony Orchestra bassoonist Paul Ganson provided the inspiration, passion, and determination nearly 40 years ago that saved Orchestra Hall, in fact, we wouldn't be here tonight were it not for that vision of saving it. He literally stood in front of the wrecking balls here. He would be the first to credit the team. In fact, this is a quote from him. In the early days, we were desperate for help from anybody, but there is a feeling that one cannot stop. We had to keep on going. It's the power of the ensemble when we're at our best as people. And look at the great thing that occurred this summer for arts and cultural organizations in Southeast Michigan. And that came within the first 2 years of the Cultural Alliance of Southeast Michigan being organized. As a collective, the Cultural Alliance of Southeast Michigan's members were able to be enriched by nearly $5 million thanks to the Arts and Culture Challenge from the Community Foundation of Southeast Michigan. Which brings me to the fourth action item: become involved in ArtServe Michigan. It's like Paul Ganson said, it's the power of the ensemble when we're at our best. Working on behalf of us, ArtServe plays a critical role as our statewide advocate for arts, culture, and arts education, in providing leadership and professional development support for the artists and organizations, and in strategic communications, keeping us connected with the latest information, alerts, resources, and dialogue. We must each become active and engaged arts advocates in our own communities, but it's through ArtServe Michigan that we can deepen our statewide grassroots network to be a powerful, compelling, and united voice for arts and culture in Michigan. We all know how hard Jennifer Goulet, Mike Latvis, and the rest of the ArtServe team have worked for us and with us over the past year to keep the arts alive. In John Bracey, we once again recognize the arts are still alive. It's smaller, but man, we still have a budget we might not have without their advocacy. But we know how much they need us now going forward into this next year to make sure that every candidate for governor understands that a robust arts and culture sector must be a priority in a Michigan that seeks to attract and retain talent. It can't be done without us, plain and simple. So get involved with ArtServe Michigan. Sign up to receive the advocacy e-alerts, communicate with your legislatures, organize others to join you, attend the regional meetings, volunteer your time, and fifth and final, support ArtServe Michigan with your dollars. It's critical that we keep this to be a vibrant organization. You can help ArtServe remain strong if your organization or company becomes a member, and if you too can make a personal contribution. I hope you won't leave tonight without picking up what you'll find underneath your program, which is a donor card and an envelope. The 5 action points again: get involved with the economic development activities in your community, tell the stories of how your work is transforming, work together with others, get involved with ArtServe, support ArtServe with your dollars. It's now my pleasure to bring back the person that's been responsible for this evening, the head of ArtServe Michigan, to bid us farewell, Jennifer Goulet.
I hope that each one of you is going to leave tonight knowing something new that you didn't know before, feeling like you've got to figure out a way how you can get connected, that you've been inspired tonight to find out how you personally can get involved and spread the word and be an ambassador for arts, culture, and arts education in Michigan with the people that you touch across your workplaces, in your families, in your communities. We need to seize this moment of opportunity moving forward. We're in tough times, but it's our opportunity to create and shape a new future, a new strategy, a new way of thinking. And so I urge all of you to join us at ArtServe at being part of that energy. Thank you for coming tonight, for sharing your evening. I hope you've had a great time. And again, this has been an absolute beautiful place to gather with our friends tonight. Thank you.